Hi everybody, it's Dan and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be tackling the island cake trend. I'll be teaming up with Mark from Epic Confections and Laura Lee from Cakes with Laura Lee. I'm going to show you all the do's and the don'ts, all the tricks I've learned over the week. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, you may have seen all the Jell-O disasters. But today I'm going to show you how to simply tackle this delicious, very unique, very awesome cake trend. I'll be sure to throw a link to the recipe down below in the description. It'll have all my tips and tricks, do's and don'ts. And don't forget to stay tuned at the end of the video for more information about the KitchenAid Stand Mixer giveaway. Plus, if you're new in my kitchen and you want to see even more delicious cake trends that 2020 might be thrown our way, be sure to click subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss out every time I post a new video. So for today's cake, I'm going to be using two 6-inch round funfetti cakes, ganache, and just simple Jell-O and white chocolate seashells that we're going to make right here in the kitchen. I will throw all those steps and those directions and those ingredients and that recipe down below in the description as well. But I say we stop rambling and we get started. So we're going to take our two 6-inch round funfetti cakes. We're going to stack them on top of each other with a nice thin layer of chocolate ganache between. And we're going to begin to carve out our layout for our island. Now there are several layout options you can use, but you know me, I am all about simplicity when it comes to cakes, when it comes to baking, when it comes to just spending a good old time in the kitchen. So we're gonna be doing a simple cake with 1 or 2 islands. And to start that, we want to simply remove the top layer of the cake, leaving some cake to form the islands. If you want to add some sea creatures, some fishes, maybe a treasure chest inside the jelly, be sure to cut diagonally from the top of the cake to the last layer, leaving some cake to form the islands. Once you have your ideal island cake carved out, we want to go ahead and we just want to begin to cover every inch of this cake with ganache. Now I found the best way to really get every single piece of this cake covered in ganache is to make my ganache a little more on the thinner side. And then just take our rubber brush, dip it in, and begin to cover every single nook and cranny of our cake. Don't worry about how messy it may or may not look. Really, we just want the ganache to have a rustic and uneven finish to really capture that rocky island mountain feel. As for all the cake pieces we're going to be carving away, we want to go ahead, add those to a bowl, and we're just going to crumble the cake and some chocolate ganache together, kind of the way you make cake pops. And we're going to use this to form the islands on top of the cake. Of course, with the crumbs, we also want to make walls on the diagonal edge to make it look more natural. Once your island cake is covered with your chocolate ganache, go ahead, pop in the fridge, and let set and firm for a good 10 to 15 minutes. This way your cake is sealed and protected from the gel that we're about to put in. Now while our island cake is hanging out in the fridge, we're going to go ahead and work on our white chocolate seashells. Now I picked up this silicone seashell mold from Wilton for a couple of bucks. So we're gonna use this and we're just gonna simply pour in melted white chocolate. And smooth over a couple of times with an offset spatula to really get that white chocolate into the mold. After your white chocolate sets for a couple minutes, you can go ahead and just simply and easily pop out your white chocolate seashells. Now that the ganache has fully set and firmed up on our island cake, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wrap our cake with an acetate cake collar or mousse collar. Now depending on the size, you might have to tape a couple pieces together, but you really want to go ahead and just firm a nice tight collar around your cake. Then we're going to take the outside ring of our springform pan, make sure the latch is unlocked, and we're just going to add it on top, and we're just going to add it around our cake. Now that we have our cake collar around our cake and our springform pan around our cake collar, which is around our cake, we can go ahead and we can start adding in our gelatin. Now little by little, we're going to pour the gelatin onto our cake. As for the gelatin, I'm using 5 boxes of Jell-O brand blue raspberry Jell-O and 3 25-ounce packets of unflavored gelatin. Once the Jell-O mixtures were completely dissolved in the water, I let it cool to room temperature and begin to slightly solidify and congeal. This way, I wasn't pouring straight liquid onto my cake and risking any sort of Jell-O leakage around the sides of the acetate collar or from the sides of the springform pan. Once your gelatin is inside of your cake collar and surrounding your island cake, go ahead, pop in the fridge and let that firm and set for a good 2.5 to at least 3 hours. This is where you want to be really patient. I was not the 4th and 5th time for my cake, and each time I went to go remove the collar, the Jell-O just completely collapsed around the cake. It fell off when I was taking the acetate color off. It was a mess. So definitely wait at least 2.5, 3 hours. If you want to go longer, great. If not though, you shouldn't need more than 3 hours. So our Jell-O is fully set after 3 hours around our island cake. Now it is time to remove the acetate collar and the springform pan, and fingers crossed it holds its shape and stays around the cake. Now I'm going to be using a hair dryer, and we're going to be using this on a low or high heat depending on how long you've kept your gelatin in the fridge. And we're just going to go ahead and we're going to gently hold this not too close but not too far away against our island cake. This way the Jell-O, because it has such a low melting point, begins to soften up just a tiny bit around the sides of the acetate as we remove it from our cake. All right, well, it worked. I'm extremely happy about it. I am so glad. Like I said, this cake took me at least 7 times to get it right, especially with the Jell-O, but I think we have officially perfected it. Now it's time to decorate and finish our island cake. So let's get to it. I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna put that down. Let's take some crushed shortbread pecan cookies and we're going to sprinkle them around our 2 mountains from our island. So I guess technically it's 2 islands for an island cake, but we want to give it like a nice little simple beachy look. And we're gonna just take maybe a little spoon and just sprinkle along our crushed cookies around each peak of our island. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the rest of our crushed shortbread pecan cookies and we're gonna cover the sides of our cake to go for like a wet sand look. Lastly, we're going to take our white chocolate seashells and we're going to decorate around our cake. When you're sticking them to the sides of the cake, give it a little tiny bit of pressure. This way they really hold their place and they don't fall off the cake. If they do, that's alright. Just go ahead and give them a little firmer push into the cake. And once you're done decorating with your crushed shortbread cookies and your white chocolate seashells, you have a simple, perfect, easy, oh so delicious island cake. And you know what? I think it came out pretty good. Definitely a lot of lessons learned and definitely I think something we might tackle again here in the kitchen. If you want to see more island cakes, definitely let me know in the comments. I had an idea for like Link's Awakening, but I could not get that right the first time. I was like, you know what, we're still gonna do it. Let's just change up the theme. I mean, that's what baking is in the kitchen. You go in with an idea and sometimes you come out with something even different, but something really cute and exciting. I'm happy for it. I'm excited. I love it. Now it's time to slice in and see what it looks like on the inside. So we're gonna take our knife and we're gonna just go ahead and just go right for it and slice into our island cake. We're gonna slice through that Jell-O layer, we're gonna slice through that chocolate ganache layer, and of course we're gonna slice through that moist, delicious, fluffy, funfetti cake layer. And from that first slice of our island getaway, nautical, beachy themed, trendy island cake, we have our ocean blue Jell-O with these nice little ripples that the knife gave, which I was not expecting and I'm really enjoying it. It adds to the little whimsy of it. We have our delicious chocolate ganache layer, our funfetti cake layer, a little white chocolate sea star, some crushed shortbread pecan cookies, really just a delicious looking cake. I cannot wait to eat this. It's going to be so good, I can already tell. Well, thank you all for stopping by. I had so much fun tackling this new cake trend for the island cake. It was fun, lots of lessons learned, do's and don'ts. I might want to do this again. So if you want to see another island cake, maybe an even more nerdy themed island cake, or maybe something in the winter, like a little penguin playground, icy iceberg, glacier. I lost my thought there for a minute. But if you want to see more, definitely give this video a like, helps me out. Lets me know I'm baking up recipes you all like, you enjoy, and you want to see more of. And if you want even more trendy cake ideas, be sure to click subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss out every time I post a new video. Like my winter Arctic glacier, iceberg, penguin, playground cake that's coming. Thankfully, it's only July, so we got plenty of time to think about it. Plus, I still have 20 KitchenAid semisters to give away. So if you haven't already, be sure to enter down below with the link. Once you're in the giveaway, you'll have 20 chances to win and lots of ways to enter. Lastly, don't forget, if you make your own trendy, delicious island cake, definitely give a tag on Instagram. You know, let me see what you're baking up in your kitchen. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna eat this cake. I'm gonna have a nice cup of coffee, or maybe a pina colada. I don't know. It's early in the day. Enjoy the weather. I hope you all get to do the same. And as always, I will see you all in the next video very soon. Bye.